Hey traders, it's Jeffrey with Strategic Day Traders. Great to be with you again and give you a recap of how we did this past week. Before we start, all the information provided here is for educational purposes only and is not an offer or a recommendation to trade futures, stocks, options, or Forex. So, as many of you know, I have a private Telegram channel where I release my bias, long or short trades on the 28 currency pairs. I post those signals between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern Time going into the Sydney and Tokyo sessions, and then the London and New York sessions. I start my analysis after the New York session closes and look at the activity over the past 24 hours, the news events that have occurred, and the upcoming news events of the day. I create my analysis and get a long or a short bias for the next 12 or 24 hours on the individual pairs that I recommend. I'm always careful to give a long or a short entry based on an optimal entry spot using a strategy that I will show you guys in a minute. And here's how we did this past week. Sunday night going into Monday, there were 3 short entries for some good initial high probability targets and runners. We got a total of 217 pips. The following day, Monday going into Tuesday, was a little bit slower, just a single entry for just 11 pips. And then on Tuesday going into Wednesday, 2 nice trades on a total of 113 pips. Wednesday going into Thursday, 91 total pips, and closing out the week with 3 longs for 65 pips. There were some big economic news events, and that showed us as I will come back to this in a second. But we had some U.S. inflation news coming out this week, and some huge runs up. And so, typically, when there is a big run, we do get some flattening out afterwards. So that's one of the things that you have to look out for when you are looking to call the movements over the beginning of the day, going into the Tokyo, then London, then New York session. But I'm looking into having a second round of signals coming out between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. In the morning in the U.S. Before the U.S. session opens, and that'll be able to give us a second round or a doubling of what we have here. But for the week, if you took a look at the totals, if you traded an average of a mini lot, 0.1 size, you knocked out an easy $400-500. If you have a larger account size, maybe as large as a $50,000 account, or you're using a prop firm with a $50,000, you might be going as high as 0.5 or a half of a full lot, and that easily got you over 2,000. If you're just starting out, start out with the smallest possible lot size, 0.01, a micro lot. Easy to do on the trading platform, especially on MetaTrader, and that way you do have a sense of the different lot size and the value, and that would have netted you a positive as well. Here is a look at the charts that I use. My strategy is a simple one. After I determine my bias based on a variety of economic factors, the performance of the currency in the past 24 hours, looking toward the upcoming 12 to 24 hours, then I look at my parabolic price action chart. And as you can see, Forex pairs typically follow this nice parabolic trajectory. Parabolic is simply moving down, swinging back up, and moving back down. I look for breaches or getting close to the edges of this envelope that's right here, and a movement to the opposite side. I factor in supply and demand zones and an overbought, oversold condition. So if you get my signals, you're going to either enter at market if you have a high risk tolerance, if you want to take every single trade, that's up to you. But the optimum pullback, the optimum entry, is waiting for the pullback to the possible targets or possible entry signals that I post. and enter those with a limit order. You're always going to be monitoring, as I do, at least for the upcoming hour or two before you leave your monitor. If you're on the East Coast, if you are on European time, you might be monitoring it longer, and adjusting those limit orders based on appearances or breaches of supply and demand zones, as well as the overbought and oversold condition. I put my stop losses well behind the next closest supply or demand zone, or potentially a swing high or a swing low, okay? And I always, by the way, enter my trades with a maximum loss per trade, so I don't mind if my stop loss is far, then I might not make as much for that particular trade, but I'm limiting my stop loss to a certain dollar amount. And my first target is always going to be the highest probability and generally easy to get, and it's the other edge of this nice envelope that I show you how to put on your charts and provide the indicators for you if you join my group. And then we trail the stop by either the price or an actual indicator. So going into the week coming up, we do have a very big week. We've got inflation news out of Canada. We've got inflation news out of the UK. We have finally the release from the Fed of the U.S. interest rate drop. We're either going to see a quarter point or a half point. Smart money right now is on just a quarter point, but you never know. We're monitoring the New Zealand. We're monitoring New Zealand for their GDP and Australia unemployment information, and then we've got more bank rate or bank news coming out of the UK and Japan. So it's going to be an exciting week going ahead. And for anybody that has not had a chance to see the signals, just scroll back in the free channel that this is posted in. You can see all of the previous weeks in the YouTube channel as well. And if you'd like to join so you get these signals when I release them, just go to strategicdaytraders.com. Click on join. If you guys are interested in getting a coupon code for promotion, just email me directly and I'll give you the latest one rather than publish it here, because some people may be looking back at this in the channel weeks after it has been published. Just shoot me an email and I'll be happy to give it to you so you can come join the group and take advantage of these great bias calls and learn the trading these parabolic price action moves with me. I do a live session every week on Friday where I go into the nuts and bolts of actually setting up your chart, being able to look at it, taking the trades, and following the individual trades of the week in real time. So that's it for now. That is a wrap. Great being with you again. Good trading, and we will see you in the next one.